We'll see if they can somehow score an upset at one of these higher weights. Third-ranked Brett Pfarr. He's 27-2 on the year, 14-0. As I said, the junior from Lee Sueur Henderson High School, Lee Sueur, Minnesota, my alma mater. As I'll throw in there once again. And then, of course, Jacob Berkowitz, 0-5 in dual meets, 3-8 overall on the season. So now that Sertus loss looming even larger, Johnny, as the Cats would be up another point, actually 2 more points. It'd be a 23 to 12 advantage, whereas the Gophers would need a pair of pins to win the duel.
Yeah, that Jake Short victory could have, that gave Minnesota to be, a chance to be in this match still. If Northwestern, won that match, it can, spark different things. That's why you wrestle. We would have never predicted that Regis Durbin was going to pick up the fall the match prior of 184. So anything can happen. So we'll see how these remaining 2 matches turn out. Jacob Berkowitz, redshirt junior from Scarsdale, New York. Redshirted last season. Before that, wrestled 184 for the Wildcats a couple years, and now he's making that transition. Last year, he redshirted, wrestled 197 unattached, and now he made that jump to 197 wrestling for the Wildcats. He's had, his record doesn't really dictate his overall success this year. He's been, he had a close match against Michigan's Max Huntley, 197-85, but if you were there, you saw that match came down to the final second. So he's wrestling the best guys there is, and he's getting fairly close. He has the opportunity. So this is a great test for him going against Brett Pfarr.
Yeah, you look at who he's had to wrestle. Burak of Iowa, McIntosh, Penn State, Huntley, Michigan, now Pfarr of Minnesota. Brett gets the takedown here, 1 second to go in the opening period. And Brett's only losses, he's ranked third. His losses 3-2 to Morgan McIntosh at the Southern Scuffle Championships. And then Jaden Cox, a 4-1 decision in the championship of the Cliff Keen Invite. So, Brett's in contention for a national championship, for a Big Ten championship, but it's one of those weights, like we said, with, whether you look at 149 or even some of the lower weights, you have basically 3 of the top 4 wrestlers in the country in the Big Ten.
Yeah, going off of that, Pfarr was ranked number 4. We see him wrestle number 3, Nathan Berg at the time, but there was a late scramble there. Pfarr comes up, gets the fends off the takedown from Nathan Burek.
Yeah, it was a challenge,
yeah,
wasn't there?
There was a challenge, one of the longest challenges I think I've seen in wrestling. Took quite some time, but now Pfarr's that number 3 and Burek's number 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 have already wrestled each other this year.
We saw McIntosh a couple weeks ago major Berkowitz, as did Burak. So we'll see what Pfarr can do. He's accumulating the riding time right now as the period comes to close. Trying to turn Berkowitz. But Pfarr is really a grinder. I know. Reading some of the stuff on Brett and hearing from some of the Minnesota coaches, he's just one of the hardest workers on the team, just one of those guys that they really look to for the spark. And obviously right now they're going to need one. And as we said, that Jake Short victory likely going to be the difference, especially considering Pfarr obviously leads the team, I believe, in falls on the season. But Michael Crales, he's only got 1 fall in the heavyweights. It's
tough to score a lot of points,
tough to score and
especially
tough to pin.
Crales is, he's a little lighter. Conan Jennings is, 6'5", 6'6", all of 285 pounds. So against that guy that size, it's, tough to put up a lot of points. So, that Sertus and Short match could be the deciding factor in today's match. But you can't say that until it's all over, until we have a recap. But going into that, Berkowitz down 3-0 to Brett Pfarr. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in the second period.
He's doing a nice job on defense right now. Every Pfarr takedown attempt has been thwarted except for the one. He's trying to get a takedown, doesn't, but he wraps around and gets out of it. Players tangling up high.
And as a Wildcat fan, if you're watching this, Brett Pfarr, number 3 guy in the country, you got to be a little nervous for the bonus points possibility, but Berkowitz is fighting there. We would like to see maybe he opens up a little bit, get some more action going, but as a Northwestern fan, you're going to be content with, Berkowitz wrestling the way he is. And he gets a great takedown on the edge of the mat there. That's when you wrestle. That's why you wrestle. You're not out until the ref tells you you're out. The match isn't over until the ref blows that whistle. So there we see, Berkowitz taking advantage of, maybe Pfarr relaxing a little bit.
Yeah, Jonas looked similar to what we saw in that 149 match. It was right in front of us. It looked like Brett let his guard down just a hair. And Berkowitz, nice job countering, getting to his back and scoring the 2 points. Another escape for Pfarr. 20 seconds remaining, second period. 4-2, the third-ranked Gopher leads Jacob Berkowitz.
Interesting position for Berkowitz here. Likes to scramble as well. And, both these guys, 197-pounders, but they both like to scramble. They both can roll around, both very athletic kids. And I think we're starting to see that more as wrestling is evolving. We get these guys. Usually people think that these heavier weights, they don't really move. But, right here we see Berkowitz hop over Pfarr, so these guys are very athletic. They can roll around, and that's what we're seeing. The more successful guys are being able to, wrestle through all positions.
Berkowitz chooses down. He's 4-point deficit as we head to the third period. We're at the 197-pound match. As you can see, Northwestern wrestling very well tonight. They lead 20-15, but the Gophers have their horses in the stable, one of them being Brett Pfarr, who's up over a minute of riding time in the third period. So it looks like Pfarr just working Berkowitz. We saw it with Wanzek. Pfarr putting on a clinic as well, just not letting Berkowitz sniff any sort of way to get out of the hold.
And for a Minnesota fan, you really can't predict, even though Creel's pretty well. He's had his experience as a Gopher. However, you would like to see maybe Pfarr try to get some more bonus points. They're down, and you would like to see them try to worry a little bit about getting that major decision. Berkowitz fires off a shot of his own. And then Berkowitz is in this match. He's had the opportunities. It's just the little things that can possibly get to. Let's see how he finishes. That's something that kind of cost him last week against Michigan State. Had a sloppy finish and gave up another takedown there. That's something, I think Berkowitz has to work on a little bit. And Pfarr did a great job of capitalizing on another mistake. You see those best guys that capitalize on the mistakes that a wrestler makes.
And then you see him let Berkowitz escape. So as you talked about, 20 seconds remaining.
He's going to look to score a little more points.
Going to need a near fall or 2 takedowns, most likely a near fall to get to the major.
Might have waited a little too long there, but that's all right. The coaches seem to be somewhat content in his performance tonight.
And the clock will run out on the 97 match. So Brett Pfarr, 9-4 decision over Jacob Berkowitz. And we will head to the 10th and final match of the duel. Conan Jennings, the redshirt freshman for Northwestern, against 9th-ranked Michael Krales of Minnesota. And this one will determine